I'm going to be talking about these Vivo Barefoot Primus Trail Knit FG. These are the current shoes I'm using to train in, and you might be thinking about buying a pair for yourself. They are a popular pick. So I'm going to share with you what they've been like to use for about 5 months of near enough daily use, things you might or might not like about them, and also what they're like compared to the Motus Strengths, which are another popular pick in this area. Now I know I'm a little bit late to the party with these shoes. They have been out for some time, but they are still available on the Vivo Barefoot website. And just to be clear and upfront, these were bought with my own money. Vivo Barefoot haven't sponsored this video. This is all my own opinion. So these are the Vivo Barefoot Primus Trail Knit FG. The FG stands for firm ground. And I've been using them for a little over 5 months now. So why did I buy them? I was already interested in buying the Motus Strengths, which were newly released at the time, but it was a toss up between them or these. I actually ended up buying both of them. Vivo Barefoot have quite a lot of shoes in their performance range, so it was a bit tricky to figure out which one would suit me the best, so I just bought both of them. This is a big reason why I buy so many training shoes. I just can't decide between two, so I just end up buying both. I was initially leaning more towards the Motus Strengths, which are more targeted to the indoor gym goer, and these Primus Trail Knit FGs, as you probably guessed from the name, are more of an outdoorsy trail type running shoes. I do run outdoors sometimes, but I wouldn't call myself a trail runner, so I thought that some of the features would be wasted on me, but I bought them anyway. Just to let you know, I'm going to be sharing all of the discount codes that I get from Vivo Barefoot or any other company with similar kinds of products that you might be interested in. It's an email newsletter that you need to sign up to. When the discount codes come in, I'll share them with everyone on the list. So just check the description and sign up to the newsletter. Back to the review. What's unique about them? If you've worn barefoot shoes before, you might want to know what exactly is unique about them. I think the most unique thing you'll notice at first glance is the lacing system. Vivo calls this the quick lace system. To be honest, I didn't like them at first, and I will say after using them for all these months, I still don't really like them. I did have the idea of maybe cutting them off and replacing them with more traditional laces, but I've just not gotten around to it. And another thing is that because of the construction and fit of this shoe, I can actually wear them without using the lacing system, so it isn't really a deal breaker. Now the fit of the shoes is very much like a sock in the way that it's stretchy and it hugs the foot, so most of the time I don't even really need to fasten them. But if I'm running in them, I definitely need to use a lacing system just in case they fall off or if I end up twisting an ankle. I definitely don't think that this quick lace system gives as secure fastening as a traditional lacing system does, which is why I wanted to look into making the alteration, but I've actually been okay with them. So if you're more of a hardcore outdoor runner running through muddy terrain on wet mornings, you might want to look seriously at changing the laces out. Another big difference between these and the Motus Strengths is the sole. The grip on these soles is a lot better than on the Motus Strengths. If you run outside on wet pavements in the Motus Strength, not even running, a slightly pacey walk on some pavements and indoor surfaces, they did give me a feeling that I was going to slip. But with these ones, the grip is a lot better, as I would expect a trail running shoe to be. I know they're not marketed as an indoor gym shoe like the Motus are, but they still work very well in that scenario. Now let's talk about living with them. The fact that these Primus Trail Knits have a better grip is a big reason why I've been wearing them more and more during the winter and autumn months. The grip is so much better than other Vivo shoes that I've tried so far. Now over the last few months, my training has been more heavily focused on flexibility and strength training, so the nature of barefoot shoes being zero drop and closer to the ground has of course been very helpful. But don't get too carried away, there are some downsides. Now I'm going to go through the main differences of these versus the Motus Strength shoes if you are thinking about getting the two. Now number one is durability. Now with these Primus Trail Knits, after 5 months, there aren't any significant signs of the material being worn. The soles look really good, a little dirty, I will admit, but I can't see any concerning signs of wear and tear, which I actually think is quite impressive. Now with the Motus Strengths, the sole had a lot more wear on it earlier on. As I mentioned, I definitely see the sole on these Primus Trails lasting a lot better than the Motus sole does, which is actually crazy considering that the Motus are priced higher than these are, and the sole on these seems to be more hard wearing. Durability is a concern with a lot of Vivo shoes. Many people concerned about how fast the shoes fall apart, and I get it, but I would say so far these are definitely in a better condition than the Motus Strengths are. Now the second thing is the price. The price of Vivo barefoot shoes overall is a sticking point for many, but I think for me personally, the price drew me in more than it scared me away. I wanted to know, why am I seeing people wear these shoes so much and what's so special about them? I think that's what made me buy my first pair. I actually think you're getting a better deal with these than you are with the Motus shoes. Sounds controversial, I know, but I do consider these more of a hidden gem. As I mentioned, if you sign up to my email newsletter, I will share any discount codes if and when they become available. So if you are looking to get a pair of shoes like this, you might be able to get a little bit of money off. A link to the sign up page will be in the description of this video. Now number 3 is insulation. Now this is something I think you have to take note of. If you live in a warmer climate, then you can just disregard this, but I live in London and it's cold most of the time here. Now when I bought these shoes, it was slightly warmer. I didn't notice it at all. But on cold days, when you wear these shoes, you really notice how cold your feet get. Barefoot shoes like this bring bring your feet closer to the ground, which is of course a good thing, but that normally means little to no insulation. The sole on these is very thin. My whole foot was numb after about 20 minutes of just walking around on the pavement. I've not worn them in snow or icy conditions, but I'm pretty sure it would be the same thing. So yeah, get yourself a good pair of warm socks if you're in a colder climate. Maybe even double up if you have to. You will thank me later, trust me. So my overall verdict, 5 months in and counting, I think that the Primus trail knits are a good pick, and from what I've seen so far, they do have good durability and grip. They've held up better than the Motor Strengths have, and I expect them to continue that way. If you do intend to run outdoors on muddy grounds in them, consider changing the laces so that you can get an even more secure fit than the quick lace system provided. That was my quick 5-month update of using these Vivobarefoot Primus Trail Knit FGs. A very good barefoot shoe. Most of the bad things about them can be easily fixed. Just make sure you try them on, get the right size, and you'll be happy. So I hope that helped you. Be sure to like and subscribe, and as usual, I'll see you on the next one.